Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to do the scratch and sniff. This is the card that I made using that technique, and then the inside, isn't it cute? Now this is using the lemonade Kool-Aid, looks like that. And then this one I used the orange, which looks like this. I think this packet was 15 cents at Kroger, so very inexpensive, and you don't use the whole packet either. So, and then here's what that one looks like on the inside. Super cute. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the stamps that I'm using is Lemon Zest. We're going to use this little slice here for the scratch and sniff. And the slice can really be anything. It could be a lime, it could be an orange slice, a lemon slice. When I did this with the embossing powder, it even looks like a grapefruit. I don't know. I don't think there's grapefruit flavored Kool-Aid, but you never know. But what I used for this one was the embossing powder in here. So this is the brand new embossing pack of the end colors. So we have the Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, Blueberry Bushel, Call Me Clover, and then the Lovely Lipstick. And these are all embossing powders. So I'm going to be using the Pineapple Punch with the lemon, and then I'm going to show you how to do the orange one with just the classic ink and the clear embossing powder. Okay, and then once again, this was the Grapefruit Grove that I used for this one here. So I wanted to look more orangey, but it came out more like grapefruit. So that's what that one looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our cardstock. Okay, so I took the Pineapple Punch embossing powder, and the trick with this is you want to use more embossing powder than the Kool-Aid. So I used probably 3/4 of the powder to 1/4 of the lemonade. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just show you here a little bit what I did. So I'm just going to pour some in this container, and this is an old embossing container. And then what I did is I took some lemonade Kool-Aid. So remember, you're going to use more of the embossing powder than the Kool-Aid. And that's mainly because the Kool-Aid is a little bit thicker than your embossing powder. And you really don't need a lot to get that smell of the Kool-Aid. So you can see how much I used for that. So then you're just going to put your lid back on and then shake it up. Oh my gosh, it smells just like lemons in this room right now. So see, you still got a lot of embossing powder. A little bit goes a long way. So next we're going to take our Versamark ink pad, and we're just going to stamp our slice. So I'm just going to stamp this right onto the Whisper White. And then you're going to take your mixture, Pineapple Punch embossing powder, and then your lemon Kool-Aid. Sprinkle that over that. And then of course you want to dump that back in. Okay. Now we're going to heat set that. So let me grab my heat tool. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to let that cool for a second. But I'm going to also share with you that you don't want to use too much Kool-Aid, because the Kool-Aid is a little bit thicker in granules than the embossing powder. So you're going to notice that it's a little bit clumpy when you're doing this technique with the scratch and sniff, and that's only because of the Kool-Aid. So I'm going to emboss one with just the pure embossing powder so you can see the difference and how much smoother it is. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that with the Versamark just like we did before. This time, instead of the Kool-Aid mixture, I'm just going to use the Pineapple Punch embossing powder. Okay, we'll bring in our heat tool. Okay, so hopefully you can see on camera, this is the one with the Kool-Aid, and then this is just the pure embossing powder. So you can see how much smoother it is with just the embossing powder. But the fun technique with this is that you can scratch this now and it will smell like lemons or strawberries or whatever flavor Kool-Aid you're mixing that with. It smells amazing. I love it. All right, so now let me show you how I did the orange one, since the orange of the embossing powder, which was the Grapefruit Grove, wasn't quite as orange as I wanted. So let me show you what I did for that. Okay, so I'm going to use this cardstock. I'm just going to flip it around. So I'm going to use the pumpkin pie. go ahead and stamp this slice with the orange. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my Simply Shammy and clean off my block or my slice. Okay, so now we're going to stamp with the Versamark over top of the orange slice. Hopefully I can put this over top of it without putting my head in the camera. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now my mixture that I use for this is, of course, the orange Kool-Aid. And once again, you're using more embossing powder than you are the Kool-Aid. And then I use the clear embossing powder. This is my jar that I've had for many years. And then I got my empty container here with my clear embossing powder and my orange. So what I did is I'm just going to add a little bit of clear to my jar. I'm just showing you a sample. I don't want to overfill this. And then I'm going to take my Kool-Aid. I'm going to pour a little bit in here, just like that. Okay? And of course you can test it as you go. If you need more, then you can always add more. And then of course you want to put your lid back on and then shake that up really good so it mixes it up with the clear embossing powder and the Kool-Aid. Okay, so once I stamp that, then I can go ahead and add my mixture of the clear embossing powder with the orange. This is going to smell really good too. Okay, so now you can almost see the bumps of the Kool-Aid in there. But that's what you want, because that's what's going to make the scratch and sniff. Okay, so let's grab our heat tool. Okay, so there's the clear with the orange Kool-Aid. And if you were here, you could smell this. It smells so good. And what makes the scratch and sniff card so cute is because anytime you send this card in the mail, and of course it's going to be inside the envelope, and of course all my lemons are the scratch and sniff, even the inside. So when you're putting this into an envelope, anybody that opens it up is going to smell that lemon coming from that card. And then they're probably automatically going to smell it, and they're going to see that it's kind of, you know, kind of bumpy, and they're going to know to scratch it. But I just love how fun this card is. And then here's the orange one. Okay, so I have all the items listed below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.